This is the NCAA Division III Marshall Regional Tournament, talking with TLU's Bailey Hudgeons, Wade Wilson, and Madison Johnson. Bailey, it's your senior year. You have done really well this year. Can you just talk about your experience with TLU?
I think overall this year didn't necessarily end how we wanted it to end, but it was a lot different than every other year that I've been here. We had a lot of young girls coming in, a lot of great talent, so it was really fun to try and navigate all of our different personalities and just trying to step up and be a leader for once. Normally there's been other people leading, so this year really taught me a lot when it came to leadership.
That's awesome. And Madison, same deal. Will you just talk about this year as a whole for you?
I think I have to agree with Bailey. This year is definitely a lot different than last year, and we had more upperclassmen than we do now. And I'm a junior, so I have one more year to go here. But we have a lot of young faces, young girls, and just trying to figure out how to guide them down the right path, like teach them the ways of TLU softball, but still playing the game.
That's great. And Coach, do you just want to talk about not just this weekend, but really just your season as a whole?
Well, I just heard Madi talk about another year, and that's – I'm excited about that. She's battled a back injury that needs to have surgery all year and going through the struggles that she's had with that and never complaining about it. And it's kind of always left it up to her and her pain tolerance and which she can handle. And she's every time we've been in one of these regionals, super regionals, College World Series, anything, she's been on the all tournament team, and she's a player that turns it up. Bailey's been a part of us for 4 years, and the legacy that these two have left and our seniors have left has been, it's something that our younger kids are going to have to shoot for. The standard is so high, and it makes days like today a little tougher because of that, because in the last 3 seasons, the only thing Bailey knows is playing at the College World Series. So when you come up short of that, it hurts a little more. But we told our kids at the end of the game there when we were in our cool down that they can go home and go back to their parents and tell them they did their best. And I thought our kids, we just ran into a really good Belhaven team today, and their pitcher, Caruth, struck us out 9 times again, and I thought that was the difference in the game, is that as good as our pitchers are, our defense played extremely well behind our pitchers today, and our pitchers did their job. But when we strike out 9 times and they don't have to make 9 more plays, it's tough to put runs on the board. But I'm extremely proud of our group and the season we've had with the young kids to win 40 games in a year, especially with the young kids we have. I thought our kids did tremendous.
That's amazing. And thank you for talking with me. We're going to open up the floor to some questions.
Bryce Hayes, TLU. First question for you, Madi. On the team with all but 2 or 3 returners from last year's team, what was different from last year, and what can you take into next season?
Oh, man. There was a lot different from last year. I was new last year coming to TLU, so me taking up, I think, more of a leadership role rather than trying to figure out where I fit with the team. This year is more taking up a leadership role, and I think that's just going into next year what has to be done. And we'll have more girls with more experience, I think, next year, so it'll be a little more helpful that way.
Bailey, Coach Wilson kind of alluded to it already, but all you've known is winning since being here at TLU. The pandemic kind of took a year from you, but 3-time SCAC champion, never missed the NCAA tournament. What have these last 4 years meant to you?
Oh my gosh. I just can't say enough about Texas Lutheran, not only as an institution, but also as a softball program. It's not only made me into a better person. This is like my first year regularly starting. Sitting the bench has taught me more than I could have ever imagined. I couldn't imagine a better place, and all I know is winning, but TLU also made me a better person.
Coach Wilson, kind of in the same vein, you lose some pillars of your program from last season, a ton of new faces this year. What's your takeaway from the season and this postseason experience for these younger players going into next year?
I think they exceeded expectations to begin with. As young as we were, you look back and we had Laura and Madi, and our pitchers were our only 2 starters back other than our pitchers. We had some kids with some experience, but not necessarily starting experience and 100 at bat type experience. But I think the future is bright. I think what these guys have left behind, the standard, what we talked about earlier, I think it's a high standard, and these young kids, and I feel like that with any kids, whatever you set the bar at, they're going to reach it, and I think we've gotten away from that in society a lot of times, that we don't hold our standards high enough as a society, and we let kids fall short of that. People in general fall short of that, not just kids, but people. We have expectations, and our kids have always done a great job of getting to it and exceeding it, and I think that's what separates us.
Thank you, guys. Great season.
Thank you.
Thank
Bryce.
Thank you.
Once again, just thank you for talking with me, and I just want to give y'all a huge congratulations on how far y'all have come and how well y'all did this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.